In the heart of the city, there's a lady so divine, with a gift so rare she can read between the lines, unlocking mysteries. She's the one we all admire. With a touch of magic, she sets our souls on fire. From psychic readings to rosemary oil so pure, her spirit shines bright. Of that I'm sure. On TV she graces the screen with grace. Her presence is a blessing in every time and place. Pop culture psychic, in tune with the stars. She sees beyond the veil, even beyond Mars. And when the night falls, Tracy after dark, her wisdom illuminates like a powerful spark. So if you seek guidance, look no further than her door. Tracy Brown live where wisdom does soar. Through the realms of the unseen, she'll light your way. With every word she speaks, darkness turns to day. Tracy Brown live, the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong. From psychic readings to rosemary oil so pure, her spirit shines bright. Of that I am sure. On TV, she graces the screen with grace. Her presence is a blessing in every time and place. Pop culture psychic, in tune with the stars. She sees beyond the veil, even beyond Mars. And when the night falls, Tracy after dark, her wisdom illuminates like a powerful spark. So if you seek guidance, look no further than her door. Tracy Brown live where wisdom does soar. Through the realms of the unseen, she'll light your way. With every word she speaks, darkness turns to day. Tracy Brown live, the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong. Tracy Brown live, the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong.
Hey y'all, how are you today? I just want to ask you guys, whoever is into Real Housewives of Potomac, raise your hand. I raise my hand. Do you all think that Karen is a real life Karen? Can you all see the real Karen in her? Like the Karen that we see the YouTube videos about. Can you all see like what an appropriate name she was born with? Because Karen to me is a whole bit. Is a whole bit. To me. Maybe you don't see her that way, but the Grande Dame is a bitch. Now, I dread seeing next week where she rips into Wendy. But I'm also so mad at Wendy. Because Wendy and her fucking husband is so delusional. I think those two have mental illness that they copied from one another. Like that's how delusional these two are. All right. I have to tell you, with someone like Karen, you never let them see you win. She is hell on wheels. And I thought Giselle was bad. I don't know what's up, but Karen is not a nice person. But that's just me. That's psychic me. I'm just tapping into her inner core of her ugly. And I think I can't wait to see this. That part, right? Banner, banner. Thank you, thank you. Oh my God. Um, I was so like I was so pissed tonight because I get it on Peacock that I'm so glad they didn't ruin my Sunday. I value Sundays. And I was so pissed that I couldn't watch Married to the Medicine right behind it. Like that's how mad I was. Where is my allegedly button? Here it is. So we are going to play some videos. Some of them are fucking long. Like some people did a whole recap for like 7 minutes, but enjoy it. I think I'm gonna play the two long ones first. Oh, I can literally mop my floor with some of the longer ones, and I might. Let me say hi to everyone first. Hi, One Deep. Hi, Steven. I don't like this blue. I'm over this color blue. I thought I changed it to a softer blue. I like that today. Back to the comments. Show comment. Okay. Um, did Noel come on? I didn't see Noel. Oh, let me go. Oh, okay. Hi Jenny G. Hi One Deep. Oh, good. Um, hi Noel. That's a better blue. Thank you, God. Mm-hmm. One Deep. Mm-hmm. Girl. Girl, there was no, I can't even get into everything. I'll let the videos that I have. Banner, banner, banner. Yes, I got the banner. Banner, banner. I can't wait to see this. All right. And everyone else is saying hello to everyone else. Okay. Let's take a look at some of these videos. I've got a couple of long ones, and I think I'll just play the two longest ones, the three, four. Oh, doesn't matter.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chime. We're going to get into the Real Housewives of Potomac and everything that is Karen Hugar. Let's get into it. Child, they showing Karen's ride back to the house. She came out of the prison in the back. Then she let the windows down, spoke to some people. Another reporter had come out asking, did she have a message for the fans? She let the window up, talking about, I hope it wasn't rude. Karen, that was a little rude. Karen gets out of the car. Raven runs to her. They are just emotional. Ray walks over. She talks about her jailhouse braids. The girls wanted her to have braids, so she used hair from the girls in the detention center. Like, I know Karen is just elated at this point. So it seems like Karen had got overwhelmed a little bit. She sat down and told her sentiments to Raven, her sister, and Ray. She talked about the ladies in prison, how she feels that she has a purpose and she reached them. And then she was like, y'all, I gotta go, right? So she went upstairs to take a bath. And now we get into Andy and their interview. Let's go. 11 minutes in. And this has been better than the entire season. Child, she had a week to get refreshed. Oh, Karen looks good when she came downstairs to talk to Andy, because she didn't look like this when she came home. She looked like however old that she actually is. But this right here, this is good. So people were asking about Brandon, Karen's son. He is here. Andy asked him, why does he always hide from the cameras? He said he's a busy guy. And her cousin David is there also. Karen said that when she got there, honey, she was not in the general population. And she said she is there to learn a lesson, so put me in the general pop. She said because she had work to do. And she said those children there were like her children because some of them were the ages of her children. I really hope she learned a lesson. Child, so after they finished with all that small talk in the dining room, Andy said, let me pull you for a chat. So they sit down, and he was like, you're a free woman. She said, Andy, I've been through hell and back, so let's talk about the video that broke the internet. And then, child, they showed just a real quick shot of her in the front of the police car with the wig pulled back. She letting us know that she's Thomas Jefferson's concubine and told that man that he wasn't worth anything. Y'all, this is good. Okay, so we look at the video. We hear her talk about what you're not going to do, and then she gets arrested. She lets us know she's lit when she gets to the police department. She lets us know she's Thomas Jefferson's concubine. And when Andy asked her about that, she was like, nuts. I had just blacked out and I was just talking. And then we talked about, her children were devastated because she didn't watch it until she had gone to rehab. We've talked about that. She didn't want Ray to watch it, but her children saw it. And then she talked about the alcohol and the medicine that she was taking. She wouldn't name the medicine, but she said it was antidepressants. That she could say because she could get sued if she says, I guess, a specific name. And she said the alcohol was calling her, but then she said it wasn't about the alcohol. It was kind of the mix of alcohol and the medication. So this is where we are right now. We talked about this also. I wonder why Karen didn't take a plea deal. Like, she did listen to her lawyers. They saw the video. They said the video would nail her to the cross. And she wouldn't take a plea deal. She could have had, she said that she didn't have home arrest, house arrest, but she could have taken a plea deal. So this next segment was a lot. Karen said that she realized that she had an addiction to alcohol, and she said that she's going to live the rest of her life in recovery. And he asked her, does she have an alcohol addiction? Is she an alcoholic? She said, I'm a person that's going to live the rest of my life in recovery. She said she didn't tell the judge that she would go to AA for the rest of her life, but she said she is going to do that. But she prefers NA, Narcotic Anonymous, right? And then Andy was asking her, like, when you got in there and you were stripped down, and she didn't get it. Like, I feel like Karen might have taken a little something before this interview. You know what I'm saying? But he was asking her, like, how did you feel metaphorically? Because she was like, Andy, I was in my panties and blah, blah, blah. He was like, no, because she was like, no. She was glad the lashes was gone. Her hair was gone. She was seeing the gray come out. She's going to be all white-headed when it all grows out. And she said, she talked about how her living conditions were. Instead of sitting on the toilet, she got pads that she lined the toilet seats with so she could sit on those. That was smart. So then she talked about her time, right? She said that she got up at 4:30 in the morning to go to breakfast at 5. And then she would go to class at 9:30. Her food was like astronaut food that you get in a pack. And she ate crab. She didn't eat any chicken. And she said she would go work out in the afternoon. And dinner was at 4:30. And lights were out at 9:45. And then he talked about when they filmed the reunion. And she said that she did not watch that last reunion where she was in rehab. So now he's going to show her some snippets from that reunion. And we're going to get her reaction. This is a lot. So they show the girls at the last reunion, where they had the white on when Mia was there and walked out. And they showed what she said, what the girls said. She talked about what Ashley had said about somebody had mentioned that, I know this lady, she came to this legal seafood place and she day drank, right? And then Wendy has said that somebody told her the same thing. Now, Karen said that what Ashley said was correct. That was 20 years ago. And Ray used to have to come and pick her up. But she was like, I don't know who is talking to Wendy because she lives all the way out in Timbuktu. Now, on the video cam, you hear Karen saying that somebody else was in the car. You hear her say that. But when Ashley was talking about it at the reunion while Karen was listening to her talk about it, Karen said, no, that's not true. So I don't know what the truth is. And when it came to Wendy, and when Wendy said that that is not my friend, meaning Karen, Karen said that's a conversation for Wendy and I to have. And then she followed that up saying, Wendy knows why I did not thank her. So I don't know what it is. She didn't get into it. Andy is sitting up there. He looks perplexed because he wants to know why. But maybe we could see that at the reunion. I don't know. She also said that, Giselle did a good job of reaching out to her. She said the ladies reached out except for Wendy. And I feel like Wendy didn't reach out because at that reunion, once Wendy said that's not my friend, and then you go back because she took Karen to the White House. She chose Karen to go to the White House. And I feel like Wendy was done, right? So why would I call her? She doesn't feel like Karen's her friend, so she hears what's going on through the grapevine, and I think that would be enough for Wendy. What do you think about that? So at the end of it, Andy said that some people feel like she shouldn't come back. And what does Karen have to say about that? Karen said maybe she shouldn't. That's something that should be earned. And maybe that's what she's going to do. Then Andy asked her, does she think that the show contributed to whatever she's going through? She said no. She said actually the show saved her. She said because the show allowed her to have structure. And without the show, she feels like she would have spiraled faster because the show allowed her to have a routine. She had to be in a certain places at certain times, and she may not be able to go drink, or she needed to be sober for certain scenes. So she feels like the show was something that really saved her from really doing bad. Child, in the end, Karen says she is not the same Karen. She did say earlier that she stopped growing emotionally because of what had happened as a young girl. And she said she loves this Karen. She forgives this Karen. And she also said that her and Ray talked, and Ray said once she gets this monkey off of her back, and if they feel like they should not be together or whatever, he would let her go. She said they are a work in progress. Andy said that is heartbreaking, and it is heartbreaking. But that is a revelation because that's clarity. And at the end, Karen said that she was basically in denial about what she was going through. And Andy said, respectfully, it did seem like you were in denial. But I thought this conversation was really good. It was needed. Let me know what you thought about the conversation. Let me know what you thought about Karen and how she showed up on the camera. Let's talk about it in the comments. It's your girl, Millie Chun. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
All right. There's so much to unpack here. When she got home, she hugged her daughter, but the daughter ran up to her, respectfully so. And then she saw Ray, and she started to hug Ray, but then she saw her sister and was trying to make a beeline to her sister. And then Ray was like, oh, you gonna hug me before you hug your sister. Right? Also, they interviewed her son with the cap kind of like this, hiding his whole face. And he said he was taking care of her finances. Why wasn't Ray taking care of your finances? Now, I know he's had financial troubles before, but it doesn't mean as a husband he would mess up your money, because it's my understanding she never worked a day in her life. And he is, the Black Bill Gates. They keep leaving that out once he wound up in financial trouble. Why's your son taking care of your money? I say that to say, hold on a second. Those two are getting divorced. Oh wait, I have a fan here. I don't got it anymore. Got a cute little fan here. Oh, this makes such a big difference. Um, they are most likely in separate bedrooms. Let's just start there. Also, I hate to say this, but I have to like figure out a way to say it nicely. Why am I taking the hair off of other women's heads and putting it on my head? Now, hygienically, that sounds crazy to me. Now, the only way that that could happen is if she had no hair and walking around bald was not in her best interest. But can't you wear a bonnet or something? And if they had hair, why couldn't hair be brought to her? Like, none of it made sense at some point. Is hair allowed to be brought in? Does anybody know? How did they gonna take the hair off their heads? And the daughter was in shock. That poor girl, she was like, that's other people's hair? Miss Grandam, you don't find that disgusting, Miss Grandam? The same woman that said, well, she's fucking lying. I'm gonna tell you why I know she's lying. I went to the commissary or whatever it's called, and I ordered 7 bags of tampon. You stupid, selfish bitch. There are young girls in there actually getting their periods. You went through yours, you're done by God's grace. But somehow it's innovative that you took Kotex pads and lined the toilet for 6 months. You did this? So for 6 months, you went to the commissary and ordered 7 maxi pads for hygiene purposes. When I just want to tell you guys, the toilet is steel for a reason. It holds no germs. If you're the only one in there, wash your fucking toilet. That means you did this for 6 months because of your germs. Your germs. That means you're germy. That means you don't trust you. The toilet is made of steel. Let me help you. If you guys don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, when you go to a restaurant and you eat their forks and spoon, it's made out of stainless steel. It's easy to clean. Hot water, soap, let it air dry. Boom. Boom. Why are you coating the base of the toilet with Kotex pads? By the way, for then the glue from the Kotex pad to leave residuals, which could bring germs. Make it make sense, Grand Dame. And somehow taking hair from other prisoners who you don't know how often they wash their hair. You don't know what kind of cooties they got, what kind of STDs could be in the hair, how often they scratch their head. See, that shit bothers me. I'd be like, oh, you want to give me some of your hair? Huh. And in my mind, it'd be that bubble and like this. And I'd be like, that bitch scratched her hair way too much for, I'm not taking her hair. I don't know whose hair I'm taking, but I'm not taking that bitch that scratches her hair all day long. There were so many things that didn't make sense. That's how I know this is not a healed Karen. She wanted to tell some fucking fucked up story. Oh, I kept myself very clean because all I did was line the toilets with napkin pads or whatever. Okay, so they can't have hair weave, but people took their real hair. I kind of find that worse. They cut their real hair to make her. I think Karen's lying. I think Karen's still a drunk. What's Karen's sign? Listen, I really don't care. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's all disgusting to take hair from other people in jail. That's not the point. The point is not the blonde. This I can't imagine anything more disgusting than sharing my hair with someone. I'd rather go bald. That's all I'm saying. I don't care how they did it. That is of no interest to me. Doing it. All right, show of hands. Who would share somebody else's hair? Thumbs up, thumbs down. And I feel like the only reason why it happened is because she must be completely bald. I don't know. I don't know, Charm. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting how, why, the color. None of it makes sense. She could have wound up, thank you, thumbs down. She could have wound up, somebody could have ordered for her, Ray could have ordered like a nice cap that you wear all day, right? Out here in the Caribbean, a lot of people wear silk caps. The older guys, oh my God, I'm so nervous. The older Caribbean men wear stocking caps, that type of knit, doesn't matter. And if they ever take it out, right, they look good with it on, but if they take it off, over the years, the stocking cap has ripped out their edges. So they actually look disgusting, right? The younger ones keep their locks on fleek. The young ones, I'm always like, to a young man, I'm always like, love your locks. The women will wear, I don't know what it's called, but they will wear like a silk band on their head. Why couldn't she just wear something like that? It's fully cover your whole head. It's made of like stretchy silk. Why couldn't she do that? Who takes hair from somebody else's hair? I would not do it. That's why I know she's lying. I don't believe her. I believe that bitch ain't got no hair. How did they do it? I mean, I watch a lot of hair stuff on Facebook and Instagram, and I know that they can take strands, burn it together, and somehow glue it. I've seen all the great stuff, but we're in prison, so where's all this material coming from? All right, I'm over it. And she said, "Oh, I got prison braids." Somebody has to introduce me to prison braids. Somebody got to show me on YouTube how they got Karen's braids together. I want to see it. I want to see them take hair from somebody else's head. I need this. Like, this is what the video needs to look like. Take hair from somebody else's head, and show me prison braids. I might have to look this up on TikTok. Show me prison braids, but I don't want to see the aftermath. I want to see how you do it. Am I the crazy one? People don't have clean heads. Oh my God. I can't. I can't. All right. And I forgot Martha Stewart went to jail. I totally forgot that. All right. Let's watch another video.
Hey y'all, let's talk about last night's new episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. This episode is a sit down with Andy and Karen. The episode starts off with Karen being brought home from jail. The people who are waiting for her on camera are her daughter Raven, her husband Ray, and her little sister. Her little sister, in my opinion, looks exactly like her and sounds just like her too. Hello? Karen tells them that the ladies gave her jailhouse braids when she was leaving jail. They took out their hair extensions and gave her braids, which that is real love right there. Also, she says that it was fun dating Ray through the glass as she was in jail and he came to visit her. 1 week later, Andy Cohen arrives to interview Karen. He tells her that note that he sent her in jail, he sprayed it with her perfume La Dame, but Karen tells him that they didn't believe that it was Andy Cohen who sent the note and they ended up scanning it in. So she didn't get to smell the perfume, but I thought that was so iconic of Andy. When Andy arrives, her son and her cousin are there. I've never seen her son on camera. Maybe he's been on camera in like earlier seasons. He says that he took over her businesses and her finances while she was away in jail, and he really like stepped up while she was away. Karen also says that while she was there, she like poured into the younger girls who happened to be there as well. And right now she is not into her phone at the time when this was filmed. Let's jump right into the sit down. Andy Cohen immediately asked her, how does it feel to be released from jail? She immediately talks about the body cam footage, the footage that we were all talking about, green people, Thomas Jefferson's concubine. Hello? Karen admits that she did not watch the body cam footage, and she also didn't allow Ray to watch it either. So she couldn't take in her lawyers telling her like, hey, that footage is going to nail you. You need to take a plea. That's why when people were in my comments and we were talking about Karen being sentenced and people were saying like, oh, she had terrible lawyers. Your lawyers can only tell you, hey, I think this is what you need to do. At the end of the day, Karen got to decide if she wanted to take the trial or not. I feel like not only was this her not actually watching the body cam footage, which I thought was absolutely insane, but she also felt like embarrassed and shamed of the night. I feel like her ego also came to play, and she did not think she was going to get that much time. Later on in the interview, she does say that she thought at max she'll probably only get a month or like 3 months. She'd still be sentenced to as much time as she did get. She does also say that she was still under the influence of pills and alcohol, so she was cloudy and in denial. Also, trigger warning throughout this video. We're going to be talking about addiction. She also says that the rumor about her being offered house arrest instead of like any jail time, that was just a rumor, that wasn't true. She finally watched the video when she sat down with her therapist when she was in rehab, and that made her understand the sentencing. Karen says that the video devastated her kids, but also like 20 years prior, her children and Ray thought that she had a problem, and Ray actually told her that she needs to go and seek help. Karen tells Andy that a doctor did prescribe her medicine. However, she started to like pull the dosage once her parents had passed. When Andy asked her what the name of the pills were, she would not say what it was. She did say they were antidepressants, but that she has very good lawyers. And basically her lawyers told her that she could be sued if she mentioned like what the name of the pills are. Throughout the sit down, you can tell that Karen kind of like strayed away from the alcohol of it all and really like leaned in on the pills. Andy asked her how much was she drinking the night of the accident, and she says that it was more so pills and it really wasn't alcohol that night. I don't know, green people and Thomas Jefferson's concubine, I always thought that it was more than just alcohol, baby. Hello? When Andy asked her what was happening like that night, like what actually happened, she said she was running away from home that night. When he asked her why, she said she was just very unhappy and she needed to get away. Karen tells Andy that drinking and driving is something that she doesn't do, which then Andy clocks her and says, but you have 4 DUIs, which Karen says that she has 4 instances and she only had 2 DUIs, and drinking and driving was something that she did in the past. Okay, Karen, okay. Love you, girl. When Andy asked Karen how was she able to be released early, she says that she worked her time down. Like as soon as she got to jail, she started to work. Everybody had the same opportunity. She worked with the AA and NA groups. Everybody has their opportunity to work their time down. Karen says while she was in jail that her and Ray like worked on their marriage and talked about her unhappiness. She also said that she had to come with terms that she stopped emotionally growing with the age of 19. That is unfortunately when Karen was SA'd or sexually assaulted, and she felt like that was when she stopped emotionally growing. At this point, Andy does tell Karen that he feels like she's owning the pills part of things, but he doesn't feel like she's really owning the alcohol side of things. Karen tells Andy that it took her therapist a long time to convince her that she even had a problem, but she does say that she did have an issue with drinking and she did have an issue with alcohol. When Andy asks her when was her last drink, she says it was after the accident. Andy asks Karen flat out, do you consider yourself to be an alcoholic? To which Karen responds and says, I consider myself to be somebody in lifetime recovery. And because she has an issue with pills and alcohol, doesn't underestimate either one, and she does go to meetings. She does say she prefers NA over AA. Karen says that even to that interview, she had not watched the last reunion. Remember, she was in rehab when the last reunion was being filmed. He, of course, takes this opportunity to play her a clip from that reunion where the women were talking about her drinking habits and also her taking this to trial and like the incident altogether. After the clip is played, which in the clip that they show us, it's Wendy and Ashley pretty much talking the most. Karen says, why would anybody want to talk to Wendy? She's in Timbuktu, and that Wendy was lying about what she said. However, she says that Ashley was not lying about the whole legal seafood thing, but she says that that was 20 years ago. She puts a lot of things on like 20 years ago, I noticed. She says that Ashley is wrong about anybody else being in the car with her the night of the incident. And she's not mad at the ladies for jumping to conclusions about her like legal team and her getting like legal advice, because remember, she takes this to trial. While the ladies are like, she is crazy, she needed to take a plea. Did she not watch the video? And she is confirming she had not actually watched the video in this sit down. Andy also plays a clip in which Karen thanks everybody, basically everybody at that reunion except for Wendy, and what Wendy said, calling Karen not her friend. Karen does say that she feels that her and Wendy can have a sit down and they should have a conversation because it's a friendship that is worth having a conversation about. She also says that Wendy knows why she did not thank her. Hello, what's that reason? He asks if Karen felt supported by the women while she was in jail. She says she did feel supported. She said Giselle did a really good job of reaching out, which that's not even shocking to me. Her and Giselle love to hate each other, but they also have a very long, real friendship. She said the only person who did not reach out was Wendy, which, I mean, I have to say understandable. Like, girl, you don't thank me when I thought that we were really friends and I'm starting to realize we were never friends. I'm not reaching out either. Sorry. He asked Karen how does she feel about viewers who feel like she shouldn't be returned back to the show or like get a second chance. I guess I did not see any of that coming down my timeline or in the comment sections that I was in. Karen does say basically like she understands why they would feel that way and you have to earn your second chance. Andy also asks Karen, does she feel like the show contributed? Basically, before he could even finish that sentence, Karen says absolutely not. She feels the show saved her and it also gave her discipline. So she doesn't blame the show for her pill or alcohol issues. Karen says that Ray has a completely different wife now. She also says that Ray told her that if after she got the monkey off her back, they decided not to be together, he could let her go. Not that he would want to, but he could. Andy asked her what was her reaction to that, and she says she's still reacting, that they're a work in progress. This made me really sad for them because I'm just seeing, it made me really sad for them. Karen ends off the sit down saying that she's embracing new Karen and that she encourages anyone who is battling addiction to seek help, which I also do as well. And that is where the sit down ends. I think that Andy asked all the right questions. I do feel that Andy held her foot to the fire just enough, in my opinion. At least a week after the woman's getting out of jail, I feel like that was just enough.
All right. Ray is an enabler, always has been for the past 20 years. He's so scared of Karen that he can't really tell her what to do. That's on God. Second thing is, Karen's an alcoholic and she will remain an alcoholic. Her lack of confessing tells me that her brain cannot wrap around calling herself an alcoholic because she knows she's going to need that drink again. Now, excuse me, if those two separate, it's because Karen was never a nice person in her home. And what you guys don't realize, because I come from a family of alcoholics, when you give up the drink, a whole nother personality comes through. And it's an angry personality. And it's someone that Ray has never met. He's met drunk, angry Karen. And you could forgive that, right? That's what in relationships, like, oh, did I hit you? I was so drunk, da 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 da, right? So in your mind, you always forgive the act because it wasn't the person, it was the drinking. Interesting enough, when someone stops drinking, they get uglier, they get quiet, they barely are a shell of the drunken person that you used to see. They will become a couch potato and they are fucking miserable. That's the men. The women, all the same characteristics, except that they will lash out, they will nag, they will point out all your mistakes because they miss the love of their life. and the love of their life is alcohol. So, if those two separate, it's just so Karen can drink in peace. Anywho,
Wasn't sure about this Andy Cohen and Karen Huger sit down. I really wasn't, because one thing about Karen is she's not going to tell the truth. She's going to dance around the truth, okay? I'm still over here like, what the fuck happened with Blue Eyes? Like, you wasn't truthful about that. I know you weren't, Karen. I know you weren't. So when Bravo had announced that Andy Cohen was going to sit down with Karen Huger and they were going to do a tell-all, an honest and raw tell-all of her, I guess, charges, addiction, conviction, time in prison or incarceration, I was like, okay, well, what you're blowing smoke up her ass, please don't do that, because that's what Karen tends to do. I love the Grand Dame, but she is not truthful. She's going to Darvo. Well, they've released a clip from the tell-all, and it looks like she's being honest because she admitted to being on prescription drugs, which I didn't know that. I thought it was only alcohol. So I'm like, oh, okay, we're being honest. She also admitted that when she went through last season where she was claiming her innocence, I was like, girl, you were not innocent. Did you even watch the fucking film of like the body cam film? She admitted that she never watched it, that she did not watch it, and that's why she was in denial. And she was also under the influence most of the time. So she, in her mind, didn't think that she had a problem or that she was, guilty. So I'm like, oh, okay, you're gonna actually be honest. Oh, we might have something here. Which makes me want to tune in even more February 1st just to hear her out, because I know after her conviction, a lot of people have been really upset with her because DUI is something that's preventable. It's that type of crime can really hurt somebody, yourself, like you could kill somebody. So a lot of people were just not happy with Karen. And this is like her fourth one. And she was very pompous last season about the fact that the truth would come out, we would see the facts, and she would be acquitted. And we're all sitting here like, did you watch the motherfucking tape, Karen? You were out of line. The wig was drunk, Karen. The wig was drunk. The wig was high too. Like, Karen.
And it latched me to the table, right? Like a hooker. Don't you have a hooker?
Police department's policy.
I'm not a police.
Yeah, the wig was drunk.
You are under arrest. So
I am not.
I didn't even watch that film. I didn't allow Ray to watch that film. So I didn't have input from my husband. So I couldn't relate to what my lawyers were telling me, which they were giving me great advice. Like, Karen, take a plea deal. Let's get you a plea deal. Because the video is going to nail you. But I hadn't
they
seen it.
said
Yeah.
the video is going to nail you.
Yes, they did.
Take a plea deal.
Yes, they did.
And you said...
Andy and Bravo did Karen a massive disservice by having that interview, okay? Like, it was just way too soon for her to be speaking about everything that she had gone through in the time frame that they had given her. I feel like she should have been awarded enough time to kind of like sit with her addiction and what she's going through and just like her own thoughts, like properly like her own thoughts, before actually having to form an opinion or form like some type of point of view about what she's going through to like a public space. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I'm being clear here, but that interview felt a little bit like the network was taking advantage of this woman who clearly hasn't come to terms with the illness that she's dealing with. I don't know what I was expecting to get out of the interview, but it just felt a little bit exploitative to me. I don't know, like Andy coming empty-handed, him basically being like, listen, I came empty-handed, I only brought my cue cards. Like, I don't know, like a lot of it just rubbed me the wrong way. Do you know what I mean? Like him going on like they're friends, but then not really knowing who was older between her son and Raven. I don't know, like it just all felt wrong. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. And I don't want to say that like Karen isn't a grown woman, she can't make her own decisions, and you know it would have ultimately been her choice to have that interview, but I don't know, there's just something very sinister about putting a vulnerable person in a position where they feel like they have to provide answers for something that they haven't fully processed yet. And by watching that interview, it's clear that Karen is still going through a lot of shame Yeah, she's still going through a lot of shame. And because she's still going through a lot of shame, she has not fully accepted that she has a problem. Not fully. She accepted some of it, but she hasn't fully accepted it. And I feel like those questions and the way that they were posed to her was, yes, to force her to take accountability, but in a sense also felt a little bit like he wanted to shame her a little bit. I don't know. I just feel like when you're dealing with something as sensitive as what we're talking about here, addiction, there's a certain delicate nature that you need to take when speaking to someone. And I feel like Andy could have been a bit more compassionate in his approach to her, you know? And I feel like because of the way that he was posing those questions and because of the way this interview was framed, I feel like it put Karen in a position where she couldn't just like let loose and be vulnerable. You know, there was nothing about that situation that gave, this is a safe space where I can tell the truth and I can be vulnerable. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Let me know if I'm being clear, because I feel like this is a very layered conversation, and I obviously have a lot to say. There's a lot for us to get through, but I just want to start there. Yeah, I just want to start there. Like, I don't think that this was a good idea. And now that I've seen the whole interview, I feel like it's not a good idea for Karen to return back to the show. But let me know what you guys think, and let's get into it.
Church, I watched the Andy Cohen sit down with Karen Hugar, and I must say, Karen has made a lot of progress, but I'm still worried for Karen, y'all. There is just a feeling in my spirit that I am worried for Karen because something doesn't seem to be quite clicking, all right? Karen spent 80% of that interview talking about that she got a pill problem, but she don't got an alcohol problem. But, you know, Karen, when they ran back the footage, mama, you was blitzed off your ass. So clearly this is an and in both scenario and not an either or. Oh, yeah, well, you know, the alcohol was a contributing factor, but I don't have an alcohol problem. Church, I'm a firm believer that people will often tell on themselves. You just have to be listening, all right? And when Karen told Andy that she could accept the pill problem because, you know, it was prescribed by the doctor, that's the aha, okay? And she couldn't accept the alcohol problem because that was coming from her. That's cognitive dissonance all day, all right? I can accept the pill problem because I have somebody to blame, at least the genesis of it, right? The prescribing of the doctor and me abusing it subsequently, right? But the alcohol, that's me all day. So I'm having the cognitive dissonance that I can't quite reconcile it, all right? Furthermore, look, I do not have a degree, any education, or any experience as it relates to substance abuse. So please, church, take this in the spirit in which it's given, okay? But Karen was supposed to do a year in jail. Karen only did 6 months. I don't quite know if Karen got the help for Karen before Karen started helping other people, okay? Look, if I'm a woman in the jail looking for help, I don't know how much weight I can give somebody who didn't watch their DUI video until after they got convicted, who went to, you know, in my mind, is a quickie rehab in order to lessen the severity of their, you know, conviction time. And then third off, seems to have gotten into jail and from day one started helping other people, you know, in an attempt to kind of lessen their own time in jail. Now, look, I do understand that sometimes, you know, by helping others, you help yourself. But look, even on a plane, they say you're supposed to what? Put on your own mask before you help somebody else. So that's all I'm saying. But look, at the end of the day, it's taken us this long to get Karen to admit that she has any sort of problem. And as I understand it, substance abuse is a lifelong thing. So hopefully with more time, more treatment, you know, we can get some more aha moments and get some more of this to click. Because if y'all notice, she only really copped to the alcohol portion of the situation within the last 10 minutes. And my spidey senses said, you know, somebody probably was in Karen's ear like, girl, you need to cop to at least a portion of this before, you know, they eat you up in these comments. But Good luck, Karen. I'm glad you back home. Please do not go back, and please continue to get the help that you need. Now, y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about this situation, and we'll talk later.
Karen gonna drink at home. Watch. She's not gonna give up the drinking. That's her love. For whatever reason. For whatever reason, could have went back to her SA, which is so sad. Because she didn't get proper counseling. And back in the day, counseling wasn't offered, even for Black women. It was even worse. And she's like 60 something now. So we were talking about when she was 19, there was no such thing as counseling. Walk it off or go to church. Um, so without the proper counseling, I could see her wanting to numb herself either from the memory or the lack of empowerment. Like sometimes you could drink because you're so mad at yourself that you say, why didn't I fight back? Right? And so you start to numb that feeling inside. And then you treat everyone in your life as if they are the RAer. So you get stronger over time with your mouth, you know, being strong in your language, getting people to back up off you because it was something that you couldn't handle, or was never taught to handle, right? Never taught to handle. One of the things I was talking to Noel about in a text message, um, and Karen has like white flavor, so let's just put that on the cupcake as well. I was talking about the Epstein files and how they didn't like Black girls. And I was telling Noel, yeah, they didn't like Black girls. We talk, we scream, we yell, we will tell a girlfriend, we will tell a police. Like, we're not quiet people, Black people. So, you want exposure? Take down Black people. You want to be exposed? You want this had to end years ago in a Caribbean island? Bring Black people. We talk. I bet you he did not have a Black cook, a Black maid, a Black laundry person. I bet you he had no Black help there. We talk. Dead ass. So imagine doing anything to us. Anything. Big, small, 5, 15, 25, don't matter. That shit, St. James Island would have been shut the fuck down. Now, I say that because there's a part of alcoholics that is not brave enough. There's a part of someone that is recovering from an attack that learns that not speaking up or speaking out or screaming or saying to someone, even after the fact, this happened to me, creates a weird hostility when other people try to step into your, what is it, your boundaries. That's not what I'm looking, that's not the word I was looking for, but step into your boundaries and you begin to use your voice. But you don't even know why you're using your voice. First of all, you're drunk day and night, whether you're functional drunk or not, you're drunk day or night. The liquor allows you to speak stronger than you would ever speak, right? And then you find yourself not caring that you hurt someone's feeling. And I could see that throughout the show. I could see where I was like, why was that necessary, Karen? But okay. She almost got ostracized from the show because of the way she was talking to people. Everyone. But thank God the other women were more fucked up, so nobody could ever really nail Karen to the cross. But they could have noticed this bitch is drinking way too much. There were some of those trips where she came to the trip looking drunk. All right, I'm over it. Wait, what happened? Let me go back to the preach, Tracy. Oh, yeah, she will be drinking at home. Yes. Yes. Yes, Tracy, preach. They truly live in their little white world. Epstein people, tell me about it. And let's just talk about that for a minute, because this is going to be hard for any white person to swallow. But you got to educate your girls. So if it's hard to swallow for you, I'm okay with that. The white women are taught to listen to their men. Whatever they say goes. That's the language. That's why Karens and Kevins get away with so much shit. Because if Kevin says something, it's the Karen that will speak out. You don't belong in this neighborhood. If you notice, it's always the Karen one step ahead of her husband. The husband's a coward, so he's back here. Talking the same language, but she's stepping up closer to the person that she believes doesn't belong in her neighborhood. Right? When the vote came down, I remember, I remember for Biden, I don't know if you guys remember, I spoke to white people and I said, tell your husbands that you're going to vote with him and then get in there and vote the opposite. Don't argue in your house. And then Biden got in. I really feel personally responsible for that. The second time around, I was nowhere near voting. So my interest was less, and I couldn't imagine what had happened, right? But I also didn't participate. Oh, I blame myself. Anywho, you know, make something great again had to do with white men. And white women always follow their men. And now we have TPUSA training the same young white girls to follow a men's ideology of what life should be like. This is so sick and so sad. Now, I say that because of the 92%. Because there's only 88% of black men, but it was 92% of black women. So, we don't listen to nobody. We don't listen to our husbands. We barely listen to our bosses. You know what I'm talking about? We would go, wait, what? That happened to me the other day. Somebody was like, I'm so funny. Somebody was like, we need you to lift it. And I was like, I'll try it. And I did. I did try it. And I looked at one of the other girls and I was like, I'm leaving. He go, you leaving? I'm 63. I'm leaving. If I tell you I can't do, I mean it. Nobody's going to break this beautiful back that I got. I'm leaving. And then the person came out and said, yeah, blah, 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 blah. We need help, blah, 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 blah. I was like, listen to me. Find something else for me to do. Because it's not happening. What? You gonna force what? If it doesn't bleed, you can't get the blood anymore. And I'm single for a reason. There's not a man that can be found that can tell me what to do. But But that's a black thing. You know, it used to be a bad thing to be a black thing, but after the Epstein files, boom. I'm sorry, Kitty. Kitty. It's beautiful to be black. They didn't want us because they knew it was never about our color. We are the easiest ones to take in. Nobody would believe us. Why wouldn't they take us? Because we talk. We yell, we scream. This would have been found out at inception of that stupid island. Noel says, I've been like that at a place of work too. I have no problem declining requests. Because it's a black thing. Not happening. Tracy, we have a full moon in Leo. Your hair looks amazing. Thank you. You know Leo rules. Yes, I do know. Every Leo I've ever met has like a beautiful mane. So true. Yeah, all Karens, including Karen Hugar. I think Karen has a problem with Wendy because Karen doesn't feel like she's a part of black culture. I'm going to just say that. She doesn't feel like she's a part of black culture. She married Ray for money, not love. And I think Ray was so happy while she was gone. I think Ray was like, I'm having the best time of my life. So if this isn't something that's working out for you, baby, we could do this. Ray is like, please, please. Right, Noel? It's always Karen doing Kevin's work. So I think Karen has some racial issues that she's dealing with. She acts so entitled. And it's so sad to watch her be so entitled. And it's going to be so sad to watch her come back and act like she's entitled. Like, that's not the Karen I want to see. And remember, I told you guys, right? Okay, let's go back to astrology because I told you guys numerology and astrology. So, why can't I get this down? Okay, so 25, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 was a 9 year, which everyone called an ending, right? I don't really believe it's an ending, right? I believe 10 is the real ending. But if you add up 1 and 10, then it's a beginning, which makes it a 1 year or it makes it a 10 year. I believe that if you didn't change what needed to be changed in 2025, and you had a whole year to fix your ugly, that's financial, that's weight, that's health, that's kindness, like so many things, right? If you didn't fix your ugly, that's your relationships, your marriage, like a lot of things needed to get released in 2025. If you didn't fix it, 2026 was going to be a new beginning. But those that didn't fix their problems in 2025 gets the tower in 2026. This woman is not done with her drinking. So it's going to show up again. I don't know how it's going to show up. Is she going to drink once Ray leaves and then fall down a flight of stairs and, oh, help me, I can't get up? Are we going to get one of those incidences? Because she'll never drink and drive. That much I know. But she will drink. That much I know. Hi, Ada. Yes, Oh my God, the brown paper bag test error. That's where she comes from. And by the way, that only happens in the DC area. It's a weird thing that happened back in the day, post slavery. So true. Hello, Ada. How are you? Yeah, that brown paper bag test. That is mean. That is mean because that determined what category you belonged in or how you were accepted into a particular group. So sad. Any case, that's a Karen thing. The white thing is Epstein and how white women. When are we going to have the revolution, white women? When are we going to have the revolution? White women, not black women. And I was just thinking, like, y'all have made black so bad, even the black man, like, fuck y'all too. And I don't mean all the black men. The spiritual black men are amazing. I'm not talking about the spiritual black men. I mean, you motherfuckers, right? Where you're like, oh, the black woman, she don't listen to nobody. Now you see why, nigga? Now you see why? We knew what we were doing. We came from slavery. We knew what we were doing. You gotta yell and scream to stop the shit. Fuck y'all. Oh, I've been doing great. Oh, get out of here. I don't care. See, I don't care anymore about anything, anybody. You know what I care about? I care about me. That's my ending for 2025. I care about me and I care about anybody that cared about my sister because she was everything to me. Okay, let me get.
Did Karen learn? Did Karen learn anything? I just watched the sit down with Andy and Karen, and first of all, y'all wrong that we not getting a real reunion episode for 2 weeks. Like, this is my Super Bowl. What's wrong with next week? Okay, but anyways, I just kind of feel like Karen still managed to be the grand dame and like, oh, I'm above this. Like, oh, I made one decision. No, you actually made 4. Doesn't she have like 4 DUIs? Like, you made a lot of bad decisions. And she skirted around like being an alcoholic, but she's okay with being a pill popper? I don't know. I don't know about that one. What do y'all think? Like, she'd rather go to NA versus AA. Like, she's really going hard left. Like, I'm not an alcoholic. Like, girl, it's okay. People have addiction problems, but like not wanting, I don't get that. I really don't understand like why she wants to. I guess maybe I do get it. I feel like she's trying to say it was a prescription drug problem, so something that someone like prescribed to her versus alcohol being like a choice. Because the Grand Dame doesn't have a drinking problem. She also totally did not say anything when he asked her who was in the car. Who's in the car? Was it the bodyguard? And it kind of felt like she was soft launching a divorce. I don't know. Someone else said it. I'm repeating it because I kind of think the same thing. Like, if I wanted to leave, Ray would be okay with that. Like, is that your storyline next season, Karen? Like, after he just held you down, you just did a bid. And who is this random son? Did y'all know she had 2 kids? Are these both from Ray? Like, obviously, we've known Raven. And I'm glad that Andy said, you've been hiding from the cameras. Because, like, what? Where did he come from? And then she said, I don't drink and drive. How did we get here, Karen? How did we get here if you don't drink and drive? She definitely has a problem. Like, her kids even saw it 20 years ago. And, like, I really do hope she gets help because, like, I don't play about drinking and driving. Like, I just think it's very irresponsible. And I really, really, really hope this time she's learned her lesson because she's not going to stop drinking. That was obvious. But I hope she gets help. And so shout out to Andy. Like, he loves his girls. Like, he wrote her. Like, they clearly have, like, a genuine friendship. And, like, I love that.
All right, let's get into this Karen exclusive interview that she did on the last episode of Potomac. I have very mixed emotions about it. I think it was beautifully shot. I love that Andy came to her home. I loved seeing her actually get out of prison and, seeing her beautiful daughter, her family, like all of that stuff. Loved. I was like, this is so emotional. Everybody that has watched my channel, they know I love the Grand Dame. She's one of my favorite housewives of all time, but I gotta keep it a buck. I did not like that interview. You see Andy's face right here? That was my face the whole time, because in my eyes, everything he was asking great questions, was a deflection. She just kept saying, yeah, let's talk about it, and then not talk about it. Or saying, like, let's be clear, and then being super vague. Like, I don't know. I hope, she does quit drinking like she said she has, but I just feel like it was a lot of deflection. A lot of, like, she wanted to talk about being in jail versus what she did to get there. We didn't get a lot of clarity, and it hurts me to say this because I obviously love Karen on the show as a housewife, but the interview, Andy was asking so many questions that you would be able to tell whether she's learned her lesson or not by how she answered, and I fear she failed with those answers she gave. This moment when Andy clocked her tea and she was like, honestly, Andy, I don't drink and drive. This is something I just wouldn't do, so I had to be out of it to do it. And Andy's like, well, you did it 4 times. And then she's like, oh, let's be clear. Let's be clear. I had situations with alcohol 4 times. I'm like, girl. Or when Andy asked her if she's an alcoholic and she's like, I'm in a lifetime of recovery, or whatever she said. And I'm just like, bro, do you know how raw and real the audience would think she is if she's just like, yeah, I am an alcoholic? I don't know.
Right.
It was hard for me to watch because I was just like, I'm so excited for her to be back on our TVs. I love her.
No.
But I'm like,
No.
is she ready to be back on her TVs? I don't know.
I don't love her.
Karen Hugar sits down with Andy Cohen and does not miss a beat when it comes to answering all the hard-hitting questions. She says she did not watch the video until she was in her treatment center in Florida when her therapist made her watch it. She also says that Ray was kept out of this entire situation. She completely isolated him from it. And Andy did not disappoint when it came to asking the very important questions. And he also kind of held her feet to the fire around this whole alcohol addiction, because it kind of felt like she was dancing around saying she had an addiction to alcohol. She says it was more so the prescription medication she was on that she was having an issue with. So mixing the prescription medication with the alcohol definitely put her in a loop. She said she was very cloudy. She didn't even want to kind of recognize that this was an issue at all for her. But she reveals at the age of 19, she was unfortunately SA'd, which caused her to be emotionally stunted for a very long time because of it, and the fact that a lot of her family didn't even believe that happened to her. She says her and Ray worked on their marriage, are working on their marriage, but said Ray told her if he has to let her go, then he's willing to do so. And when Andy brought up what some of the ladies said at the last reunion, she did validate what Ashley said. She said she did used to go to Legal Seafood 20 years ago and get lit during the day and have Ray come pick her up. But in regards to what Wendy said, she said, well, Wendy lives in Timbuktu, so that is a complete lie, and Wendy wouldn't know anything about any of those things because she lives in Timbuktu. It also sounded like she found herself a new calling, which is going to be helping young women who are in situations like hers to not end up in jail, because unfortunately for her, she saw a lot of young girls in there that she felt were in there way too young. She also clarified to Andy that she did not have 4 DUIs. She has 2 DUIs, and the other 2 incidents were simply alcohol related. Did you guys watch? Please tell me your thoughts.
Karen Hugar seemingly dodges taking full accountability on that sit-down episode with Andy Cohen, where she's talking about the DUI that she came out of prison for. Her 4th DUI, and she seemingly is painting it as not an addiction problem with alcohol, but with prescription drugs. And that just really worries me, because I love the Grand Dame and I want her to get better, but I fear she's leaving the door open for her to return to the fireball, and I don't want that. Every time Andy Cohen during that sit down was pressing her on her relationship with alcohol, Karen would always push back and say that I don't have the urge to drink. I don't have the yearning to drink. My urge and yearning were for the prescription pills that she had, the antidepressants. She seemingly has said that she doubled her dosage. So then combining that with alcohol, it got her really, really messed up. And like, I get why she's saying that, but like, you clearly also have an addiction problem with alcohol if you also have 3 other DUIs. And that's something else that she really tried to dodge accountability on. She tried to say that technically it's only 2 DUIs and then 2 other situations with alcohol. But the judge said last year that you have a total now of 4 DUIs. The judge says it. It's on your records. I don't know why she's playing semantics here. Like, I'm genuinely concerned that Karen came out of prison and learned nothing. And seemingly she's coming back next year. I mean, that's a given to Potomac Housewives. And it looks like she's going hard after Wendy or Sepho. At the end of that sit down, they showed some clips of what Wendy and all the other cast said, and Karen did not like at all what Wendy was saying. The reunion Karen snapping at Wendy. So next season, we're going to have alleged criminal with Dr. Wendy and former criminal with Karen Hugar going head to head on Potomac Housewives. Lord help us.
That was very funny. All right, guys, let's do a reading. I just want to. What's going on here? I just want to see if Karen's going to go back to drinking. Please, God, talk to me. Talk to me about Karen. Please allow me to see anything and everything that you would like for me to see. Karen's your child. She's your love. She is your beloved, Father God. Please authorize me to see and say what you would like for me to say and see. I love you, God. I love you, Jesus. In your name, I pray. Make sure I got enough cards here. And one more. One more. Amen. Amen. Ashe. All right, y'all. Let's lower the stage. Let me get a banner up here. I could have been done this. Sometimes I don't think until the last minute. Will Karen Hugar drink again? Question mark. Sorry, kitty. Oh, wait. Save. Oh. That is way too big for my liking. All right, we'll leave it at that. All right, let's take a look. She is split on what she should do. She has her shadow side, she has the other side of knowledge, right? She has the shadow and she has her other side of knowledge, but she is staring this. But both is still in her. As with most addicted people, it never disappears, right? Lord God, do y'all know what this is? Do y'all know what this is? This is a woman that will drink again. She can't help herself. I already knew it. And she's going to justify her drinking, right? If she breaks up with Ray, that's the perfect reason to drink, right? So she's going to be like, well, I wasn't drinking for so long and then Ray left me. She will self-sabotage because the thing about her addiction is that it's been too far gone. She never sought help for it. So she's not going to be able to reconcile in her brain the necessity to give it up. The only thing that she might do is drink from home. I don't know who this guy is, but somebody is going to trigger this for her. Water sign man, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And remember, many water sign, particularly Pisces, men and women, not to take women out of this, but particularly men, um, drink. But most water signs, that's why he has a cup in his hand. Most water signs drink. All right. The Three of Wands means the ships are coming in, which means she will drink again, and she will probably drink in less than 3 months. So by the time we get back on Potomac, she will be drinking again. Now, whether or not we're going to see it right away, no, but we might hear about it. We might have to be like, does anybody think Karen is drinking again? Right? We might hear about it that way. There's another man here. I don't know what race sign is, but this is a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius man that might be trying to nip this. Oh, there's another air sign man here. These might be her children, now that I'm thinking about it, because they're in the same suit, which means they are in the same blood. The hope and fear is that she walks away from drinking. She doesn't. She can't. That's the hope and fear, that she walks away from drinking. And her money is going to get compromised, because the other thing about Karen is that she doesn't know how to budget. She knows how to spend. She doesn't know how to budget. So, Karen, you are in danger, girl. People want you to walk away from drinking. It's been too many years, too long. But can you do it? Can you do it? Oh, Karen. No. Although that's in the past. Nope. Moral issues. Nope. Nope. She's going to have people acknowledging that they see it. I'm not saying this is going to be shown on camera. I think a lot of this is going to be family first. She's going to have people acknowledging that they see it. They're going to be talking to her, begging her. They might even have to ostracize themselves from her, which, now that I'm thinking about it, might have been the main reason why we did not see the oldest child. Like, he may have been compromised from her drinking. So they're going to have conversations with her, and then they're going to fight with her. There's a legal situation that's going to come up. Karen, I can't believe that you would go back out and drink. You know what I find interesting? And you have to know this about drunks too. They love to drink in public. Like, oh, my nose is bothering. Real drunks do not like to drink alone. They need partners. Or they will convince you, if you're not a drinker, to start drinking because they need a partner. Oh, come on, just have a drink with me. And before you know it, you're inebriated and just as drunk, and you're getting used to drinking every night. So I found it interesting that she would drink in public, but she would be by herself. But at least in her mind, because there's a little bit of mental illness going on there, if she's in public, it's kind of like having a friend. So you get to know the bartender, la 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 la. All right. She is going to make money off of her legal situation initially. She'll make money off of it. I feel like a little girl is about to get married, and she really has some real concerns as to how far deep in the DNA is this thing going. I'm sorry, Karen. I think the little girl has your issues. And I think you guys are going to have some conversations about the potential of her having some issues with drinking that it never really dawned on her until something happened to her mother. And then it was like, I think I need to look at myself now. And I think she has she's in a relationship that's going to say to her, you act just like your mother. And that's going to trigger something in her, the daughter. I don't know Ray's sign. Is he a Sagittarius? Because I definitely think that Ray is going to leave her. I think it is going to be public. Whether she makes it public or Bravo makes it public, I really don't care. Um, I think he's going to be happy. And I think she's going to act like losing him is a problem for her, not blaming him, but, oh, I never realized how lonely it is. Yeah, come on, Karen. You were in your marriage alone, and Ray is just going to be happy not to put up with your antics anymore and your ugly behavior towards him. And I don't feel like this is the first time they separated. I think they lived in different homes before. All right. With all that being said, Karen will go back to drinking. She will go back to drinking. Oh man, Karen. Karen's going to go back to drinking because her money's going to get compromised. And that's going to dry up her ability to drink quality, right? To act like, well, I might be drinking, but at least I drink quality. And then I get the tower. And the tower shows that she's going to come crashing down again. Oh, man. All right, I'm already tired. 3 women are going to kind of say, I told you so. Probably 3 Potomac women, 4 Potomac women. All right, guys. Oh, Karen. Karma, drinking. This is not good, Karen. What's Ray's sign? Oh, she's also worried about image, which she could get away from in Potomac. I don't think she really has any friends. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that too. The home is going to be a problem. Who's going to pay for the home? Ray might be very spiteful toward her in the end. I don't think he's going to take care of her like she thinks. So I hope you make enough money at Bravo, because Ray might let you drown in your own mess this time. He's an enabler, and hopefully he's going to Alcoholics Anonymous to understand how he enables, right? And would stop enabling you. She's going to be broke. The Wheel of Fortune means she's going to be broke, but she won't act like it. She's such a liar. She won't act like it. She'll pretend like she's got money, wear the most fabulous clothes, but be broke as shit like Wendy Williams. Wendy Osefo. Sorry, Wendy Williams. Okay. In the end, I think it's Giselle that's going to be the one to point out that she is still drinking. And I got to tell you something. I feel like Bravo is going to keep the footage going until they get that part of Giselle saying that. Watch. All right. Let's get the final outcome here. I'm so sleepy. What is that there? Oh, that's the cat. Oh my goodness. What? Move. I could see your hair in my screen. So my cat used to smell, you all. And then I discovered why he used to smell. It's the food. Oh, you gotta move, baby. It's the food. The food was making him smell. How disgusting. I mean, literally, he was smelling out his pores. And it was Fancy Feast. So whoever feeding their cat Fancy Feast, don't do it. Oh, man. Could have taken that one. And she liked Fancy Feast. And when I switched the food, it took her about 2 weeks to eat again. She's very, very finicky. Oh, I finally got her to eat real food, but I don't know what it was I gave her. But she literally ate real food finally. But that's because she wasn't eating the cat food that I switched. But now she's eating it. And, oh, her whole body smells so much better. Oh, my God. It was terrible. Okay, this looks straight, just way over here. So I'm going to go ahead and take it. Child nature. Right side up. Friendship with animals and communications with nature. With nature spirit. All right. Maybe it's not humans that you should be helping. Maybe it's animals, Karen. Inspires intimate bonding with natural forces. Shows affinity for friendships with animals. Has inner toughness and ability to survive. That's the only connection to this card. Has inner toughness and ability to survive. All right. That's all I'm getting because I don't even see her a nice animal person. I don't see it in her. Oh, thank you, Vid Game Chicks. Could you please move? I'm trying to get her to talk now. I'm trying to get her to say, hi. Hi. She's going to say it. Watch. Hi, Avon. Hi. So when I come home, that's how I greet her until she gets, that's how I want her to talk. I need you to talk to me back when I come home, okay? Okay? So when I say hi, you say hi. I watch these cat shows. Other cats can do it. Why can't mine? Okay. Thank you, Vid King Chicks. 213-458-7408. Please text me for your own personal reading. That's my email address. If you need my email address for anything, and subscribe and like. All right, everyone. I'm so tired. Thank you, Fit Game Chicks. Love you all. Take it easy. Bye.
In the heart of the city, there's a lady so divine, with a gift so rare she can read between the lines, unlocking mysteries. She's the one we all admire. With a touch of magic, she sets our souls on fire. From psychic readings to rosemary oil so pure, her spirit shines bright. Of that I am sure. On TV she graces the screen with grace. Her presence is a blessing in every time and place. Pop culture psychic, in tune with the stars. She sees beyond the veil, even beyond Mars. And when the night falls, darkness turns to day. Tracy Brown lit the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong. From psychic readings to rosemary oil so pure, her spirit shines bright, of that I am sure. On TV, she graces the screen with grace. Her presence is a blessing in every time and place. Our culture psychic, in tune with the stars. She sees beyond the veil, even beyond Mars. And when the night falls, Tracy after dark, her wisdom illuminates like a powerful spark. So if you seek guidance, look no further than her door. Tracy Brown live where wisdom does soar. Through the realms of the unseen, she'll light your way. With every word she speaks, darkness turns to day. Tracy Brown lit the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong. Tracy Brown lit the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong.